The secret to growing healthier plants is likely sitting in the waste you throw away every single day. We have all seen the difference between a yellowing plant that refuses to grow and a vibrant, deep green one that thrives. Most people assume that reaching this level of health requires expensive store-bought bags and complicated chemical formulas, but in many cases, those aren't the best option. Plants rely on specific elements to survive. They need nitrogen for leafy growth, phosphorus for roots, potassium for strength, and calcium for structure. Those exact elements are already sitting in your kitchen waste. Instead of buying those nutrients, we can extract them from the food you already eat. Today, we'll walk through 3 distinct methods: a fast-acting liquid boost, a slow-release powder, and a long-term living compost bin. Once you understand how these methods work, you'll see peels and shells as a free, high-value resource for the home. We will begin with the fastest method, creating a liquid fertilizer using discarded banana peels. Bananas are rich in potassium. For a plant, potassium acts as an immune booster and a structural support system, helping it grow stronger and produce better flowers and fruits. To get that potassium into your soil, simply take your fresh peels, drop them into a jar of water, and leave them submerged for 24 to 48 hours. Over this time, the water physically absorbs the nutrients out of the peels, holding them in a readily available form. You can pour this infused liquid directly onto your plants. If you wash rice at home, that leftover cloudy water works the same way, delivering a dose of suspended minerals. Because the nutrients are dissolved in water, the roots can absorb them immediately. It is the most efficient way to deliver a rapid nutrient boost to a struggling plant. For long-term support, we look to discarded eggshells. They are an excellent source of calcium, which plants use to reinforce their cell walls. This chart shows the decay timeline. A whole shell thrown directly into a pot resists decomposition, staying intact for years. But mechanically grinding the shells drastically increases surface area, giving soil microbes hundreds of entry points to break down the calcium. To do this correctly, let your eggshells dry completely. Grind them into a fine dust and mix that powder thoroughly into your topsoil. As the soil digests the powder, it releases a steady supply of calcium. This mimics how nature fortifies plants, ensuring they develop true structural resilience over the course of several months. For all your remaining scraps, like the carrot tops, the spinach stems, and apple cores, we use the most powerful method, a continuous compost bin. Chop your green kitchen scraps into small pieces and place them in a container. Cover them with a layer of dry, brown materials, like leaves or basic dirt, and keep repeating these layers as you collect more waste. This process creates a nursery for beneficial microorganisms. These microscopic workers break the scraps down into rich, usable soil. To keep those microbes alive, you must strictly control 2 variables: moisture and airflow. If the bin gets too dry, the microbes die off and decomposition stops. If it gets too wet, you create an anaerobic environment, causing rot and a foul smell. Use the wrung-out sponge test to check moisture levels. Firmly squeezing a handful of compost should yield only 2 or 3 drops of water. Once your moisture is correct, stir the bucket every few days to introduce the oxygen your microbes need to breathe. Maintaining this balance allows you to engineer a self-sustaining biological engine that continuously generates dark, living soil from your leftovers. You now have 3 distinct capabilities: a liquid extract for rapid nutrient delivery, a slow-release powder for structural support, and an active compost bin for living soil. Store-bought chemicals cause a volatile spike, followed by a rapid crash. Organic methods produce a smooth, steadily compounding upward curve. This happens because organic materials build an ecosystem. Healthy plants eventually return their nutrients back to the earth. Along the way, you achieve a highly practical secondary victory. You reduce your household waste by ensuring every scrap gets a second life. You don't have to rely on expensive products to maintain a healthy garden. Save your scraps. Pick just one of these methods to start with, and change your relationship with nature from a consumer to an active participant.